let me touch on something much more grander. You see, somehow the whole world, especially the Western world, Abrahamic traditions are so fixated on undermining Hinduism. It's incredible. I'm telling you the true story. They never gave dignity to everything that has come out of India. Wonderful stuff that has flowed out of India for thousands. They have never dignified it, never valued it, never acknowledged it. It came out of India. They have been so anti-Hindu or anti-Indian. This is frightening. It's a continuing story. I'll just tell you something very interesting that I think all of you should relate to. Recently, in the last 10 years, tremendous amount of research has been done in genetics. Genetics are a very powerful tool. If you like, they carry the seeds of your ancestry. You can link your background, your ancestry, all the way to 10,000, 100,000 years. Incredible material. So the modern genetic research, this is real stuff and not anything made up, not exaggerated. You will find this very exciting. The genetic research that has been done recently, in the last 10 years, shows something dramatic. This is okay, we seem to have come out of Africa. Whole of Homo sapiens been thinking human beings are clever clogs. Came out of Africa about 100,000 years ago. And just this is the research. Maybe just about 50 of them moved out on the coast of Africa and entered India. Just 50, about 50,000 years ago. Entered India. That created the civilization. From 50 we got this now billion sitting there. Now the wonderful thing is this. Because the soil was very fertile, everything was very natural, the weather was very good, that civilization flourished. The Indus Valley civilization, the Saraswati River civilization flourished dramatically. They've got digs now which go back 8,000 years, showing there was a civilization here 8,000 years ago. This is far earlier than the Mesopotamian civilization, the Egyptian civilization, peanuts compared to them, they're babies. So very ancient civilization was already in full existence in India, throughout India, for the last 20,000 years. This is real research, genetic research. And this I find so exciting because this gives you dignity that you're looking for. He says, do you know what he says? He says all this idea that somehow the Europeans entered India and wrote the Sanskrit language and all this civilization came from Europe, etc., from Ukraine is utter rubbish. The genetic research suggests exactly the opposite. Oh, they say there was an invasion, but not invasion from outside to India, from India outside. So first time, 10,000, this is genetic research, serious stuff. 10,000 years ago, a lot of people migrated out of India and to Europe and took all the lovely stuff they already learned from Indian subcontinent and took it to Europe. Research. So the language went out of India into Europe, not from Europe to India. Very ancient. This is very wonderful. You can't challenge it. This is dramatic research. And one particular thing that really touched me, and I really started falling about when I saw the research, is this. They say there is one brand of cows that only live in India, genetically. They've discovered in India. That brand of cow is nowhere else in the world. And then we see that because they can do genetic research, human beings, they can do genetic research of animals. They started doing cow research, genetic research. I was falling about laughing. They discovered that this cow, I forget the name, but this cow came out of India, went to Afghanistan, went to Iran, Persia, Europe, USA, everywhere. It's the cow from India. So forget about human beings going into Europe and civilizing them. Even the cow came out of India. And even the rat, apparently. We only exported cows and we exported rats too. It's true. Genetic research. It's very easy to do. So first time I felt, thank God. Now we've got solid evidence that the cradle of civilization, because always we thought cradle of civilization, Middle East, Mesopotamia, all this Babylon and Egypt, this is the beginning of Greek civilization. That's how we start being thinkers and clever clogs. They are babies. The real civilization started about 10, 20,000 years ago in ancient India. And from there, it influenced the rest of the world. So when people are kind of undermining Hinduism in India, saying you got this quirky, religious ceremony, or horrible religion, or this monkey god, go away. We have, without beating drums, without conquering other people, our ideas have conquered humanity for thousands of years. It's not going to stop there. In this 10 years, I'm telling you, I'm so confident, these ideas that are still lying potent in India, like spiritual humanism, will enter the whole world and really kind of revive the idea of spirituality more suited to our own times. So we contributed in the past, but we are not finished yet. We are going to contribute again in this decade. I'm promising you, because I see that happening all the time. So we are in for a very positive reaction. Forget about this quirky thing. We all have quirky things. We smile and say, that's not the real stuff. The real stuff is we are the source, the cradle of civilization for the whole world over 20,000 years. For 20,000, everything great and grand, including languages, came out of India. Even to China, Southeast Asia, everywhere they can trace it back to India. And you know which part of India was very popular, and I'm very proud. Gujarat. They say Gujarat. This is the source of all this extension.
Free e-learning course in Hinduism. To register, please visit www.hindu-academy.com.
Talks on Hinduism. Sponsored by People Care. Encouraging caring for the elderly in their own homes. For more information, please visit peoplecare.com.